am Annie Hayes of Annie's Annuals and Perennials Nursery in Richmond, California. And I'm going to show you how I tear up the gardens in the fall and get ready for spring. So this is what the gardens look like in November in California along the coast. It's full of stuff and I hate to tear it up, but we're going to show you how to do it. This is a Lupinus arboreus, and this is a native lupin that blooms with big yellow clusters spring through all the way to fall here this year. It was an amazing plant, but it really looks better if we cut it back for next year, or like many shrubs and many bushes, it'll start to be gnarly at the base. So this is Cosmos, it's an annual. So we're just ripping all that out, of course. Oh, they're still pretty. Here's Columbine, and this is important to just cut this back all the way down to the ground. This is a dahlia in here, and that also gets cut back all the way to the ground. Most of the perennials like to be cut down really low, and you can even cut this down, the dahlia, even lower. Don't worry about hurting it. You're not going to hurt it. And we're really lucky because in coastal California, you certainly don't have to lift the tubers and put them in the refrigerator or anything like that during the winter time. You just leave them in the ground and let them rest. Herbascum Cotswold King. But again, it's dropped many seeds and I will have so much of it I won't know what to do with next spring. This is a Viola. And the Viola gets cut all the way back too, and it likes it. And it just really helps them look so much better the next year. If you just cut them back and give them a chance to start their life all fresh and new. And you can even see its new growth. It's wanting to grow out of the bottom. There's all little baby new growth there. So this is Scabiosa Fama Blue. And I could let this go all winter and keep blooming. You see here in coastal California, it could do that. But I want it to be really pretty for spring and for the spring party that we have when all the people come. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it all the way back. What will happen is these stems will get really old and woody, and then they'll start kind of putting out fresh growth way up here in the spring, and I don't want them to do that. I want them to put the fresh growth out at the bottom, so they'll be really pretty plants instead of old looking gnarly perennials. This is geranium Bill Wallace with the little purple flowers, and it blooms all the time here in California, and it'll bloom in the winter. But again, I want it to be pretty in spring or even in the winter, and I'm just going to cut it all the way back. You have to trust that it's going to come back, and it will. So you can see we've made some great progress here in just a few minutes. And I love doing this because it just opens up the garden, and it's time for change, and gardens are change, and then it just opens up potential for all what am I going to put there for spring? What's my new plantings going to look like? And when I get this all like a clean slate, it's really fun to just imagine what you're going to put in this year. Take this Columbine, this big beautiful Aquilegia chrysantha, which is the yellow, the most vigorous of all columbines that blooms forever, and you go, oh, that's so pretty, I don't want to cut that back. And it is really pretty, but we're going to cut it back. And you just cut it all the way down to the ground. Get out all these old leaves in here so they don't cause fungus and rot. You see this Adenophyra, it's so pretty. It's in the Campanula family, and it's blooming its little heart out. And I know you don't want to cut this back because it's so pretty, but you have to. It's just kind of like, I don't know, sending it to the gym or something. You just know it's going to be healthier and more beautiful, and it's really what it likes to be glorious the next year. All right, well, let's take a break for a second because there's something really beautiful over there I'd love you to see. So this is something I would never cut back this time of year. This is a Plectranthus X Loney Eye, and it is a fall blooming perennial. And look how beautiful it is. It is so gorgeous. I will cut this to the ground when it finishes blooming. It's a very tough plant, really strong. It loves coastal California. It's from South Africa. It's just a long-lived, wonderful fall blooming shrub perennial. Woohoo! And right over here is something really cool. This is very rare. This is a cousin of the very common cineraria that you grow in the garden, in your shade garden, and except that the colors are reversed. The central disc is dark purple and the petals are light, and it's tall, about 3 feet tall. So this is another one I wouldn't cut back just yet because it only blooms this time of year. This will all go into the compost bin and recycle into good compost for the garden. How cool is that?